it's the holidays and it's got me thinking about important, grandiose Digimon that we should be referential to, like Santa Claus. Have you been good this year? And it wouldn't be a Karn's Holiday Hootenanny if we didn't talk about more Digimon evolution lines. So a few videos ago when I talked about the Digimon Sovereigns and intimated that I might like to talk about what the Digivolution lines would be, a lot of you were into it. So on today's episode of Karn's Holiday Hootenanny, let's talk about the Digimon Sovereign evolution lines. What is up, digital companions? My name is Karn EX and welcome back to Karn's Holiday Hootenanny from America. I am currently in America right now. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not on my normal background. Does this light turn on? Oh, now it feels like story time. I'm in your walls. So I did do a video about the Digimon Sovereigns a while back, talking about the original Digidestined in Tri and what their evolution lines might have been. Turns out that also Digimon ReArise, rest in peace, did have some evolution lines for the Sovereigns when the Sovereigns showed up as banner events. And these lines were connected to the evolutions in Digimon Tri. So spoilers for Digimon Tri in this entire video, by the way. So like for example, we know that Daigo was partnered with a Bearmon that would go on to become a Loda-Leomon and eventually Baihumon with Grismon in between. This is true for other original Digidestined in the adventure canon. One kid partnered with an Orochimon that would become Ebonwumon. ReArise gave that evolution line of Kamemon to Dino-Humon, then Orochimon and Ebonwumon. Another kid that would eventually become Zuchaomon has a ReArise line of Muchomon to Akatorimon, then Hippogriffomon was in Tri and Zuchaomon. And Azulongmon's partner's evolution line in ReArise was Violet Elecmon to Tuskmon to Triceramon and Azulongmon. The one real mystery we have is Fanglongmon. Fanglongmon did show up in Digimon ReArise, had a banner event, but wasn't really as tied to adventure continuity as the other lines in ReArise for the other Sovereigns. And this kind of makes sense because generally Fanglongmon is a merging of all four of the other Sovereigns. It's kind of their Omnimon in some ways. But as I talked about in my original Digidestined video, I think it's very important that there were 5 original Digidestined and Maki was the only one we never saw become a Sovereign. To me, it makes all the sense in the world that Maki's Tapirmon would eventually become Fanglongmon, the 5th Sovereign, maybe even assimilating the data of the other 4 Digidestined's Digimon. If we're pursuing this specifically Tri-evolution line for the Digimon Sovereigns, then for Fanglongmon, I would go Tapirmon to Balukimon. This is a new Tapirmon evolution. It's only just started being actually used as a Tapirmon evolution in things like the card game, but we don't have to argue about it. It's obviously a Tapirmon evolution, so I think it works great. Though I do think that Airdramon would work really well too, because we do know that Maki's Tapirmon eventually becomes a Megadramon. Again, the fact that it's a dragon Digimon is the ultimate, leading into Fanglongmon would make a ton of sense to me. And hey, it's the holidays, I got custom art videos, but why should it just be me that's earning money? If you spend a lot of time on the internet like me, maybe browsing for Digimon content from yours truly and others, it'd be pretty cool if you could just make passive income while you were doing that, right? Which is why I am super happy to say that this video was sponsored by Honeygain. You can make extra cash right now by simply sharing your internet connection. It's just like Airbnb or Uber, only in this case you're employing your device rather than your house or car. So to be totally upfront, Honeygain is not going to be a massive earner. It's not going to pay your rent, it's not going to cover your car payment, but it definitely could earn you money every month towards something like a Netflix or Hulu subscription to maybe watch some Digimon with, or YouTube Premium so you can watch videos like mine ad-free. Maybe even just get yourself some DIM cards or Vital Bracelet stuff. And don't worry, the app doesn't collect any personal data. Instead, it uses the internet to gather bits of information from the web, such as who's offering the best prices or where fake goods are being sold online. So you can use Honeygain worry-free. So why wait? Sign up now using my special promo code Karn EX, or one word, lowercase, to get your first $5 with Honeygain, or simply download the app by following my link in the description down below. Thank you to Honeygain for sponsoring this video. So back to the Sovereigns, and before Tri, I had a bit of a theory. Your boy had a bit of a brainwave. See, I noticed, because I'm so clever and so observant, and it definitely wasn't on purpose, that each of the Sovereigns kind of resemble the armored Digimon in a way. Azulongmon looks very similar to Raydramon, but also it's a dragon, so it could tie into Flamedramon. Ebonwumon is a turtle kind of feeling in the Armadillomon realm, with maybe some grass of sincerity. Zuchaomon is a big red firebird. Geez, I wonder which one that's connected to. Even Baihumon to me looks a lot like Gatomon and Nefertimon. And Fanglongmon is golden, and there's golden Armadigi eggs. So before Tri cemented that the original Digidestined were also the partners of the Sovereigns, I thought about kind of alternate lines for the Sovereigns, involving the Armadigimon and specifically the 02 Digimon that could Armadigivolve. Baihumon, like I said, is a big cat which connects to Gatomon and Nefertimon. It also has a ring on its tail, just not a holy one, though its Digicore ring could easily also also be akin to Gatomon's Holy Ring. Zoochoumon is a red bird, great connect to Hawkmon. It has fire powers not dissimilar to the fiery Birdramon, which is a key part of Halcymon, the love armor, even if Halcymon itself tends to lean towards wind powers. However, that connection is also fine as Zoochoumon is one of the wind guardians. Ebonwamon personally I think is most likely to connect to Armadillomon, both being quadrupedal creatures associated with the earth and nature, which gives it that Digmon element, but Ebonwamon also has water techniques that could connect to Submarimon. And then Fanglongmon is tricky. My personal lean is to go with Patamon as its connection. I'll explore this more as we discuss our lines, but I think Ebonwamon or Fanglongmon could also be good contenders for Wormmon megas. But as Wormmon is the only one that didn't Armor Digivolve in the show, it's kind of neater to exclude Wormmon from the core 5 Sovereign Digimon lines, and instead focus on the initial 5 partner Digimon of 02 before Wormmon joined the cast. And the mismatch of numbers is kind of why I've never explored this concept in a video of itself. I might do a short on it or something for people that don't watch the long videos, but I still think that connection between the kind of Armor Digimon, or the ancient Digimon, not the ones from Frontier, but like Vmon and that, and the Sovereign still feels very clear in my head. It's just that mismatch. Maybe there should have been another Sovereign, or maybe Wormmon shouldn't count. So I'm going to explore what evolution lines might look like for these, and again, when we talk about evolution lines, it's really more evolution branches, a potential main branch like in the anime. Digivolution is of course way more free, so what you can consider is maybe my armor take as being like one branch towards each Sovereign, but also the ReArise lines, not trying to get rid of them. I think they're obviously the most intended to be canon, but I don't want to just regurgitate basic evolution lines in all these videos. I always want to kind of come up with stuff that I think is cool and that you might not have thought about before. So for a Zulongmon, yep, it's going to be Vmon to Raidramon. The ultimate, man, Thunderbirdmon would be so sick if it wasn't sort of the same power level as Raidramon, so you could go with Raiji Ludamon, which I have talked about before in my Armor Evolutions video. But another group of Digimon that we probably shouldn't overlook is the Davers. The Davers and the Sovereigns in my mind will be forever linked because of Digimon Tamers. And while the Digimon Tamers continuity is not the same continuity as Digimon Adventure, that linking in Tamers to me I think should have an effect on places where the Sovereigns show up going forward. While the Davers are not observed to be a group in Digimon Adventure, they very much could be at any point, like the Royal Knights, which weren't really a thing in Adventure but became a thing in Tri, which is why I'm going to make the ultimate Majiramon, and we'll be choosing Davers as ultimates going forward, but again, I'll propose some alternate ideas too. Then we have Salamon going to Gatomon / Nefertimon because they're of a similar power level, or the depowered Gatomon as the rookie equivalent, whatever you prefer. Now Lodaleomon, which is the Bearmon ultimate in Tri, could actually work pretty well here. I think Nefertimon to Lodaleomon to Baihumon is not the worst thing in the world, but if we look at Katuramon, oh, that works so well. This Dava slots in just perfectly here. Nefertimon to Katuramon to Baihumon is one of my favorite matches visually. Very anime style Digimon evolution line that I'm a big fan of. But you could also use Mihiramon. There's a couple of cat dog-ish Davas. For Armadillomon, it would go to Digmon, then Vicaralamon. Its animalistic nature being a good match to Armadillomon. It being a pig could kind of tie into Digmon, you know, truffle pigs searching through the mud, similar to how Digmon digs through the earth. And it also has somewhat of visual cohesion with Vikemon, the supposed Shikuamon mega, or one of them at least. So I think it works quite nicely while still leading in to Ebonwamon. But if you're of the opinion that Wormmon should be part of these evolution lines, then it could be Wormmon to Kotalmon, another Armor Digimon, or Buchimon if you prefer the kind of main Armor Digivolutions to be in this video. Then Sandiramon, great Kotalmon evolution, and could work as a Buchimon evo before finally becoming Ebonwamon. Zoochoumon, no discussion here. Hawkmon to Halcymon to Garudamon or Butenmon, but of course we want the Dava and it has to be Sindoramon. That works so good. Look at that. Into Zoochoumon is right up there with the Baihumon line for me. It's just working so nicely. And then is Fanglongmon, who yes, of course, could just be a merging of all 4 Sovereigns and leave it there. But if we're going to explore Patamon, as we already have Gatomon in the mix, Patamon to Pegasusmon, then Indaramon, it's a horse, it's got some gold elements, and then finally Fanglongmon. The dragon element kind of comes in at the last minute, but it also comes in at the last minute when Patamon becomes Godramon in Digimon Adventure 2020, so that parallel I think is pretty nice. However, if you're set on Wormmon, again, Wormmon could become Buchimon, and then honestly, there's no good Dava here for me that really works. Indaramon again, sure, maybe Vajramon, because it has the red from Buchimon, but has some of the gold that would lead into Fanglongmon. However, I'm of the opinion that Patamon to Pegasusmon to Indaramon to Fanglongmon is pretty great. So that's my idea for armor evolutions and Davas that would lead into the Sovereigns, but I want to quickly at the end here revisit the Tri/ReArise evolutions and talk about some problems I have with them. So I actually really like Muchomon and Akatorimon as prevos of Zoochoumon. However, I feel like this means that Hippogriffamon was poorly chosen. The line goes red bird, white bird, red bird. Huh? Now sure, it's Digimon. Digivolution can be random, but it does look like in all these evolutions that they're kind of going for that partner-esque visual cohesion line, and Hippogriffamon is just kind of an outlier outlier in this. So the Digimon I suggested earlier, if we're not using Davers, could work great. Garudamon would slot in nicely, but if you don't want to use an adventure partner, yes, my perennial favorite Butenmon would slot in here quite nicely. Or yeah, a Davis Sindoramon, why not? Bearmon going to Baihumon? I just don't know. Like, it's fine, but Bearmon, Grismon, Lodaleomon, Baihumon, it's messy. I again feel like they missed an opportunity to introduce the Davers into the adventure continuity, and Mihiramon or Katoramon could have worked well here. And while I'm really happy that Bearmon gets to have a partner in the adventure continuity, I do think you could go for a much more tiger-like or cat-like evolution line here. So Bearmon's fine, but I actually much prefer my Gatomon to Nefertimon to Katoramon idea. Kamemon, Dinohumon, and Orochimon is interesting. We go from turtle to, I guess, what's supposed to be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle reference. Maybe I'm wrong, but Dinohumon does look very turtle-ish, even though it's supposed to be a dinosaur human. There's something I really like here, though I think you could have used Guapamon, or indeed thrown in another multi-headed Digimon or snake-like Digimon. It's an okay line, though. The one I like the least, though, is Violet Elecmon to Tuskmon to Triceramon and a Zulongmon. If we compare this to how good Muchomon to Akatorimon into Zuchaomon is, I think Violet Elecmon to Tuskmon and Triceramon's a little odd. But again, what Digimon fits better than something like Raidramon? If we're not using Armor Digimon, then I get their point. The rookie could be Dracomon, then something like Airdramon and Majiramon into a Zulongmon. I just don't know. I think the big question for me is always going to be Fanglongmon and what its role would be in the adventure continuity. Maybe that will get answered at some point in the Digimon franchise, I don't know. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on the armors, my evolution lines, the Try and ReArise evolution lines, and what weird outsider picks would you do for the Sovereigns? I think the Sovereigns will always fascinate me, and Digimon groups will always fascinate me, so also let me know in the comments down below what Digimon group from the Digimon franchise you'd like to see me explore the Digivolution lines of next. I love these videos where I get to talk about like official lines and then also propose some of my own ideas. Hope you're enjoying this video. Please do become a channel member. There is a lot of early access going on in December still, and we're going to be shaking some things up into January. Also go check out Karn EX, my second channel with some of my best friends in the world, where we are doing some actually crazy IRL content that we filmed together, including a Beyblade X video that's out now. Anyway, thank you to my Sovereign, ZDK14, Jamon, and Mickey D343, as well as everyone else who supports this channel with their hard-earned money. And I'll see you next time. We go digital. Bye-bye.